Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Midsommar. So this is a movie about a couple that travels to Sweden to celebrate some festival that the Swedish have, or this small town has, for Midsummer. And evidently there's some kind of pagan cult, and it turns violent and bizarre. That's what I get from it. So I don't know too much about it. Here's the catch. It's 2 hours and 27 minutes long. So I had to wait till the weekend to turn this one on and see if I could make it through it. But it has 7.3 on IMDb. 7.3. 63,698 people reviewed it. That's pretty strong scoring. I mean, 63,000 people have viewed this. And I'm not one of them. How about that? So, Florence, Pugh, Jack Reynor. That's all I really get right now. But anyway, I'll get into it. I might have to do multiple check-ins because, again, it's a long movie. Hopefully it's very interesting and I can make it all the way through. But I'll start it. I'll see what it's about. Check in from time to time. Tell you a little bit about what the movie really is about and ultimately what I think. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody. We're at the credits of Midsommar. And sorry there's no check-ins. Oddly enough, in a 2 hour and 27 minute movie, you would think I would check in, but it just didn't strike me to just check in on this one. The the plot that they gave us is pretty right on, so let me elaborate on it a little bit. Our main character, Danny, Florence Pugh, is the actress who plays Danny, and she's immediately right in the beginning is struck on tragedy. We don't know much about it, but I mean we know what happens. Some tragedy impacts her life early on in her family. So of course she gets, a little depressed, things like that. And she has a boyfriend who I believe was getting his PhD in his doctorate program, and has a group of friends that he hangs out with. And so through everything she's a little uneasy, depressed. Lacks confidence, whatever. Well, him and his friends decide that they're going to go to Sweden, and one of his friends is from the small community, and they're going to go stay there for a month and a half and learn their culture, and one of the guys wants to write his thesis on different cultures, kind of thing. So it's going to work right there, and they're all going to experience this thing. So that's the whole plan. They invite her to go along with. Danny goes along with them, so they go to this commune, and that's where it all really starts. And I was afraid a 2 hour and 27 minute movie, I might fall asleep, might lose interest. I didn't. I didn't have an opportunity to check in because I don't know. Kind of tells itself. So when they get there, it's some things to be aware of with this movie. There is some graphic violence, I want to say, but result of some things are very graphic, and if it's hard for you to see those kinds of things, you might not want to watch it. It's not abundant throughout the entire film. There's a small piece of it where it's kind of graphic, and there's a small piece of it that's very sexual. Now, again, it's not throughout the entire film. It's those two things happen in two different spots, and then that's it. But you should be forewarned if you're going to watch this that it is very high, over the top in those kinds of senses, if you know what I mean. So anyway, and there's drug use in it. So it seems like mushrooms is a thing of this commune and this cult or whatever they are. They take a lot of hallucinogens. And as soon as they get there, they get introduced and things like that, and they do a little bit of hallucinogens, and it gets them into the community, and then it's the whole development of watching what this community is about, their rituals, the thing that they go through, and everybody has their little part in it, and they're learning more and more about it, the whole group. So that's what the plot is. So, and as soon as you get there, you can see it's different, and I'm sure most cults or communes are like this are different, and they have different beliefs and different rituals, as I said, that they go through. And this one is centered around the Midsommar, so it's a big, festival kind of thing, and they do a lot of different ceremonies to celebrate this, which are not normal ceremonies that I don't want to share with you because I don't want to ruin it if you do want to watch this. But of course, you know, the Americans who are there are learning this culture, and you know, not all of them know exactly what to do. So sometimes they might mess up, and that might look poorly upon them as they are there, and they might react to certain things that the commune is doing, and again, that might not look great for them being there, and there might be consequences. And so there you have it. I know I don't want to go into any detail, as long as you're aware of the brutality and the graphicness of certain pieces of this. Again, not the entire movie, one scene really, ultimately, and then the sexual piece of it, very over the top on that. And if you're okay with seeing that type of stuff, that's step one. Step two is, are you into these types of movies that you know, have a make-believe culture, cult sense to them, with a lot of strange rituals and ceremonies. I think you know what I'm saying, because I'm sure you've seen movies like this before. If you're into that and you got an extra 2 hours and 27 minutes to spare, you might enjoy this. I do understand why people gave this a 7. I mean, because it's like on the weird factor. It's strange. It's unusual. Is the best way to describe it. It's interesting because again, without nodding off or anything, I watched the entire movie, you know, from start to finish, and didn't lose interest. Wasn't checking fantasy football or anything. So that might tell you something. For me, I got some good advice today from one of my subscribers, and I'm going to start using a different rating system. And I'm going to start rating things on using beer. I don't know how yet. I mean, like, I don't want to just say, oh, I'm going to give it 7 beers out of 10. That's not going to work. So I haven't figured that out. If you have any ideas, let me know. But maybe what I'll do is, like, how many beers it would take me to watch this movie. Meaning, like, 1 beer is the best. So if I could do it with watching 1 beer, if it's painful, you'll probably want to have a whole case. I don't know. Anyway, throwing out ideas. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to think about that. If you have any ideas, let me know. But back to this movie. I am not at a 7 for it. I'm more at a 6. That's it. That's all I got for you. I'm rambling on, and I'm trying to explain it to you the best way that I could. I think I've captured everything that I wanted to, and you know, if you're into weird cult type movies with all the extremes that I talked about, check it out. Let me know what you think. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about my idea about rating things with beer. If you have any creative ideas, let me know. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.